Hello everyone, welcome to Tom and Arnold Talk Movies. I am Thomas. This is Arnold.
Sus. Hello there.
And today I'm going to be speaking about Terrifier 2. Written, produced, edited, and directed by Damien Leone. Cast includes Lauren Lavira, Elliot Fulham, and as Art the Clown, David Howard Fortin. So Art the Clown is back after somehow surviving the end of the first film, where I think he got shot through the head. Art is back and he's ready to kill any unlucky bastard that he comes across. This time, he's also joined by an imaginary friend who is basically a little girl version of Art the Clown. The film also follows Sienna, who is having vivid dreams of Art, and her brother, who has a morbid curiosity about the clown. This film, Arnold hasn't seen this, I have, because I'm better than him, but this film was fucking great, man. I fucking loved it. It's way better than Terrifier 1. This is actually, I think, unless I'm getting confused with something else, this is actually the third time that Terrifier, well, Art the Clown, has been in a film, because I'm sure he was in an anthology film called All Hallows Eve, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, are you familiar with Terrifier at all?
No.
Basically, it's an evil clown film, and it's fucking nuts. It doesn't give a shit about making sense. It doesn't make sense, but it's fucking great and it's fun as fuck. And I'd seen the first, as I've said, and there was all articles about this one saying, oh, people were fainting at the cinema, someone threw up, someone shit the bed when they got home. So like, yeah, if you're into your gore, I wouldn't say this is anything particularly too
Shocking.
insane. Yeah, it's there are some bits which are pretty fucked up, but if you're used to sort of gory films, it's not something which you'll think, oh, this is completely fucking insane. But there will be some stuff that I get into which will be like, fuck me. The first like 10 minutes of the film is almost like, not a recap, but it's explaining where Art gets to in this film, if you know what I mean, because it starts off in the morgue. Art gets up and he literally bashes someone's head in, like caves them in, like breaks the fuck out of their head, and then he goes to a fucking laundrette and washes his clothes because they're still dirty from the previous film, and that's when he sees the imaginary little girl version of himself and all that stuff. But even that doesn't make sense, because like, she interacts with people even though she's not real. It's fucking doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's like the first thing that happens, and then we get into like the actual plot with Sienna, who's like, there's a Halloween, it's all set around Halloween, so you know, she's dressing up and all that bollocks. Like I say, like with the plot, I don't feel like I really need to go into it, because it is very sort of like, just fucking go with it, because it does get fucking insane. It gets very Evil Dead towards the end, like Evil Dead 2 style, where I was like, I was not, it's not that I wasn't expecting it to go that route, but I was like, I'm fucking up for this, I'm fucking ready for this. Like, this is the type of film where you're waiting for the next big gory scene, but the things in between those scenes are still entertaining enough. It's not like
Doesn't feel like filler.
No, it doesn't feel like filler. Like, it's decently paced. And for a film like this, normally these films are sometimes not even 90 minutes. This is 2 hours and 18 minutes long. And before that, before I went into it, I was like, fucking a 2-hour film with an evil clown killing people, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. And it wasn't. It was pretty fucking good, man.
Did it feel like it dragged the point?
No. I mean, maybe a tiny bit. It might have been a bit too long. There may have been one or two scenes which could have been shortened. I don't think any scene needs to be taken out, but I think there are some bits which could have been shortened and all that stuff. It has a very sort of cheap look, and I don't mean that as a negative. There might be a few things I say about this film which might sound like bad things, but I don't actually feel like they are. I feel like it adds to what the film is, because I think the film, according to Wikipedia, I might be wrong, was only made for 250,000, which is fuck all. You know what I mean? For the gory effects, which are fucking great. Like, they're fucking brilliant effects, man. And you know how we said with X, if like you added a film grain, it would look like something from the 70s. I reckon if you added like a VHS filter to this, it would look like something from the 80s or 90s. It's got that sort of look. And like, I did think as I was watching it, am I giving this film too much credit? Like, what I see as like, oh, that's an interesting thing, oh, they filmed it that way so it looks like this, is that me giving it too much credit because it's just cheaply made and it was intended, it's just the way it
possibly
looks?
But it's what you get out of the film, though.
Yeah, that's
so
what I mean.
There's no right or wrong way to sort of you know.
It doesn't sort of it doesn't sort of, it takes an eye to make a film look like this, if you know what I mean.
And
and
like
like
style.
yeah, that's what I mean. And like, I did think for that, is it because it's just cheaply made? But I think there is some kind of like intentional
I think
effort.
it sounds like it. There
Yeah,
is
it sounds like it's an
Yeah.
intentional effort to make the film look a certain way and feel a
Yeah.
certain way. I said this during X as well when we did that review, which might actually come out after this review, I don't know. But I said during that, like, X feels like one of those films from the 70s which was like a rip-off of something else. And this feels like that. Like, you've got It, which is like the creepy like everyone, creepy clown horror film, first thing you think of is It. So you've got It, and then you've got Art, and like, Art is just fucking nuts, man. He just goes around killing everyone, and he does it in so fucking brutal ways. Like, there's a girl in one scene, and like, her arm gets cut off, and the way he does it, he just breaks her arm that way and just keeps breaking it, and he just completely fucking cuts her to pieces, and it's fucking insane.
What sort of villain is he? Is he like a Chucky-esque villain where he's a bit, he's like entertaining?
He's
with
like
the liners.
He's like a mime, and like, he doesn't make a sound, and like, he's just great. There's some great shots as well where he just looks menacingly, and he's just got that like there's a bit where he's like just standing in a doorway like that, and he's got this horrible fucking smile on his face, and he's just like, and it's just, the way it looks is just unsettling, man. And it's like, for a film which is silly, it still can be a bit like, oh, that guy's fucking weird, man. Stay the fuck away from me, you creep. Like, he's one of those. The closest I'd say is he's probably closer to Freddy Krueger than, say, Michael Myers, if you know what I mean. He's kind of like that. There's another bit as well where Serena, her character, her mom, gets killed, and Art like smashes her face in, and then the brother gets home, and what Art's done, he's set up the dinner table, and the mom's sitting there with a really like fucked up face, like completely caved in, and Art comes in with a plate of like potatoes, mashed potato, and puts some for a plate, and obviously she can't eat it because her face is all fucked up, so he just picks it up and rams it in this like fucking thing. Oh, fucking brilliant, man. Fucking brilliant, because it's just fucking disgusting, but fucking brilliant the way he just rams it in a fucking little weird.
It's a good film in terms of embracing the gore aspects.
Oh yeah,
sounds like it.
It's like it's just fucking nuts, man. Yeah. Oh, and the way the mum gets killed is, I think she gets shot in the head, or her head explodes. It's been a few days since I've watched this, and I just wrote here, brilliant head explosion with the mum. I can't remember what actually happens, but I remember liking it at the time, so that's good. But like I say, like, the film is not concerned about making sense. Like I say, with the imaginary girl version of him, like, sometimes the characters can see her and sometimes she picks up the phone and they speak to her, but she's not there, because there's moments when Art's doing what is it, patty cake, he's doing that with her, but it cuts to another person looking at him, and there's no one there. So it's kind of weird. But like I say, it doesn't like matter, basically.
Yeah.
And like I said, kind of with the ending, it does get a bit fucking Evil Dead, and I won't say much about it, but it's almost like, how do I say it without I don't want to spoil it, but it just gets Evil Dead, and it's just like the way our main character succeeds. I'll say that the way our main character succeeds in the film is fucking nuts, man. Like, just crazy. One thing that this film does a lot fucking better than the first, which I remember, is that the first one's equally as gory, but I feel like the first one, it plays all its cards, if that's the right phrase to use. It plays all its cards at the same time. It doesn't, like, all at once. It's the first bet of the game, and it goes all in at once. That's how the first one feels, whereas this one, it's sort of it doesn't take its time in terms of the gore, because like I say, 5 minutes in, someone's fucking but I mean, like, it doesn't
it's personally more rewarding the second time. I think the way it's sort of delivered.
The way it's paced and the way kills are done, it's a lot more like, because I'm sure like midway through the first film, a girl gets like tied up and she gets literally cut with a chainsaw right down the fucking middle, and then after that the film kind of feels a bit not as gory and a bit sort of tame compared to that bit, whereas this one doesn't feel like that, so that's pretty fucking good. One little thing I have to mention is that there's a scene where she goes to a Halloween party, and there's a guy dressed up as Randall from Clerks 2, specifically Clerks 2, because he's wearing the movie's uniform, which was in Clerks 2. So yeah, maybe a bit too long, but pretty fucking good. Really fucking enjoyed it, man, for what it was. And no, I won't say that actually, because sometimes saying for what it was makes it sound like a kind of negative. I like this film. I wouldn't
say that.
I know, but maybe, don't you think, like, oh, I like this film for what it was? It's like,
I think you're overthinking
for
it.
what it was. Maybe you're overthinking it. But honestly,
no, it's fine to say that, to be honest, because like you said, it's like, it's not so much important in terms of writing, because there's a lot of stuff that seems to sort of contradict itself, like you said, with that girl that doesn't even exist. But it's like, that's not the whole point, I'm guessing.
But the whole reason I say that is because I'm saying, oh, it's good for what it was, where I'm not classing it with other films, if you know what I mean. It's like, well, for a film like this, it's good, but then shouldn't you class every film equally or something like that? But we're gonna get on something completely different there. But Terrifier 2, watch it because it's fucking great. I hope they make Terrifier 3. I'm pretty sure there's a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene. But yeah, Terrifier 2, watch it. And thank you for watching this video. We'll end it there because that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in another one.
See ya.